Now I would like to invite Professor Fujii Chiharu to come to the podium, which is just now being prepared for him. Professor Fujii will be presenting a keynote speech entitled John Dewey's Meliorism, the Logic of Intelligence and the Formula of Human Effort Using Intelligence. Professor Fujii is Professor of Education at Waseda University in Tokyo, Japan, and has taught at Osaka Prefecture University, Kyoto Women's University, Ibaraki University, and University of Toronto, Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. He is also the president of the John Dewey Society of Japan and has reevaluated Dewey's philosophy and explored ways to add value to life, environmental studies, and integrated studies, developing this into a theory of problem-solving learning. Professor Fujii has also received the Research Encouragement Award from the John Dewey Society of Japan. He is part of the evaluation committee of the Super Global High School Project initiated by the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, MEXT, and has served on the board of directors of the Philosophy of Education of Society of Japan since 2016. We have had the honor of having Professor Fujii visit the Ikeda Research Institute for Soka Education last year as a lecturer, and we are very happy to welcome him back again. Professor Fujii.
My title is John Dewey Meliorism, the logic of intelligence and the formula of human effort using intelligence. Introduction. The request for Meliorism. At the end of 19th century, a large economic bloc was established all over the US as a consequence of rapid industrialization after the Civil War. The American lifestyle was forced to be transformed. Independent farmers and free laborers were left behind. As a result of industrialization, some mega enterprises were born as a consequence of laissez-faire principle. The business activities had been dominated by such mega enterprises. The business activities of the mega enterprises brought about hostility towards small enterprises, laborers, and customers. The antipathy between old comers and newcomers were becoming serious. Dewey looked at such a situation as the house divided against itself. The progressivism of America in the early 20th century aimed to solve many kinds of social problems, which were caused by business activities under the principle of laissez-faire. This movement required the government to solve social problems through carrying out policies. It claimed the necessity of public control over the business activities to realize public welfare. Dewey took part in this movement at the prime of his life. He engaged in the activities of Harlow House and the management of laboratory school. His great contribution to this movement was that he tried to construct the logic of intelligence for demonstrating the possibility of Meliorism. Meliorism was the principle of progressivism. Progressivism prevailed on such a principle that humans can improve the world through their effort with their own intelligence. In Dewey's book, Democracy and Education, He explained the notion of experience as the formula of human activities for problem solving, in which humans are required to make the most use of their intelligence. After democracy and education, on the basis of experience as a key concept, Dewey urges many kinds of themes: philosophy, humanity, politics, ethics, art, religion, and so on. An opponent in argument of Meliorism. Why Meliorism held up as a principle in progressivism? And why was the logic of intelligence demanded to demonstrate the possibility of Meliorism? Industrialization in the US has been propelled on the principle of laissez-faire, though the line of business activities was seen as a private right originating from natural right. For that reason, though that idea was already too old to be accepted, the people supporting laissez-faire claimed that government must not control business activities through policies. In the later 19th century, business activities in US had taken on such an aspect as dog eat dog world, as a dog eat dog world. As a result, mega enterprises were born. Moreover, during this period, the theory of social evolution by Herbert Spencer was introduced in the US, which was based on Darwin's theory of evolution. His theory of survival of the fittest was accepted as the logic to justify the competition on the principle of laissez-faire. He insisted that society evolves as a result of free exhibition of the inborn superiority of individuals, and that it is important to demonstrate such inborn superiority in society without artificial interference. In the US, such individual born with superiority, especially mental toughness, was regarded as a person successful in business, that is, the owner of mega enterprises. Supported by social Darwinism, the principle of laissez-faire was reinforced. Summing up, the following points were insisted on by the supporters of laissez-faire. A. There is disparity in the inborn ability of individuals, and the gap is fixed over the course of each lifetime. B. The life world consists of keen competition for the survival of the fittest. C. When individual with superior character survives as the fittest, then humans and their society would evolve. Sumner, an economist who was backer of laissez-faire, mentioned that it is a foolish effort for humans to try to reform our society. Sumner insisted that artificial interference, such as welfare project, let the weak survive. So, the evolution of society is disturbed. Such logic was a strong opponent of progressivism. Formulation of Dewey's Meliorism. Dewey grappled with complex issues during the period of progressivism. Democracy and education was his reply to the issue. The year 1916 was the terminal phase of progressivism. Dewey thought was generated through his involvement in progressivism. His notion of experience, the logic of intelligence for Meliorism, was the fruit of his ideological efforts. As Hegel claimed, using a metaphor of the Ode of Minerva, philosophy comes later. Dewey's philosophy can be recognized as the justification of progressivism. With what the logic did Dewey try to disprove the principle of laissez-faire? Moreover, what the formula of human effort did he propose for Meliorism? It is said generally that Dewey observed three thoughts: New Hegelism, evolutionary biology, and pragmatism. 1. New Hegelism. Dewey observed the philosophy of Hegel through Thomas Green's writings. He learned the Hegelian approach to society. Hegel denied the view that society consists of individuals who exist in isolation before the society was organized. He insisted that society consists of relations between people. Naturally observed, what is found in human history is the relation between people. History of human is the process of the transformation of a relation into a new one. New relation always increase the mutual cognition of liberty. Therefore, the essence of human history rests not on the struggle for existence, but on the reconstruction of relationship fit better for changed circumstance. Dewey recognized that the advancement of society is accomplished through cooperation or mutual assistance, not through the struggle for existence. Dewey claimed to transform the relation from formation of laissez-faire into that of common welfare. For the division among people and the hostility toward each other in the US was the most serious problem for Dewey. Each culture in human history expressed the style of relations between people. Man is born, grows up, and lives in the culture in his own time. Man is brought up through culture, so the abilities are predictably by the culture, even though there is a disparity in ability among individuals. The gap that is produced among people as a result of education is larger than the gap caused by inborn ability. It is possible for all individuals to take part in public relations. It is possible for most children to develop the abilities enough through schooling. 2. Evolutionary biology. Dewey also studied evolutionary biology through the thought of Huxley. Opposed to Spencer, Dewey did not consider the natural world that of survival of the fittest. He considered it as the world that is organized of various kinds of components and functions on the symmetrical interdependence between them. It is impossible in the natural world that any superior component becomes a solo winner. According to Dewey, biodiversity is the law of the natural world. He recognized that maintaining biodiversity is the requirement of readaptation in the case of change in the environment. The change in the environment occurs unpredictably, suddenly, and unexpectedly under the contingency. So, as a guarantee of survival, they need to leave a variety of offspring. Offspring do not fight each other. An offspring that fits itself into the new environment can survive. When change in environment occurs, the situation of a solo winner is rather dangerous. Similar to natural world, Dewey asserted that there is no law in human history. He denied Hegel on this point. Hegel treated the history of human society as a process in which ideas gradually manifest in human society in the form of culture. Marx treated it as class struggle. Dewey denied it both these historical logics. For him, humans are performers who live in the world under contingency. It is inevitable for humans to engage in problem solving continually. The problem occurs incidentally, but humans are not incompetent in solving the problems they are confronted with. It is descriptive fact that human creates a new culture to adapt to the environment altered successfully. Such efforts made it possible for humans to renew society and to survive as a species. Dewey worked out the explanation for intelligence based on the interaction between an organism and its environment. He rejected the reason, as Descartes claims, that humans are the only beings with the inborn ability to think logically. Naturally observed, humans have an ability to interact with their environment complexly, intricately, compared to other organisms. That distinction is the one of the level of interacting complexly and intricately. Humans have an ability to interact with distant things beyond space and time. Dewey found human intelligence in such a biotic phenomenon. Humans approach their environment to utilize it for their own survival. With intelligence, humans are capable of solving social problems at the time and reforming society through their own effort using intelligence. 3. Pragmatism. Peirce and James set the main theme of philosophy on increasing the certainty for human activities in this world. The pursuit of truth was not the main theme in their philosophy. They considered truth as a belief that would warrant the way of actions to solve the problem in this world. Dewey had hardly used this word in his writings. Peirce insisted that we are capable of increasing the certainty of our activities based on the adoption of clear belief that consists of meaning with high probability. Meaning is the connection between act and response. It provides the rules of actions when we deliberate on the action plan. The guiding idea to be adapted for solving the problem. James insisted that it is necessary for problem solving to clarify the ideas leading to the consequence that we want to realize, and that our activities must be guided by such ideas. Building on the pragmatism of Peirce and James, Dewey proposed the formula of human effort using intelligence that offered humans the method to solve problems in this world. If we follow his method, that is, if we use meaning that guarantees high probability, we can increase the certainty of our actions to solve problems in this world. Human intelligence is able to manifest in actions, such as investigating the problematic situations we face, coming up with guiding ideas through careful consideration and guiding our action experimentally. Dewey proposed the formula to apply it to solve public problems. Dewey emphasized society or public rather than individuals or private. He aimed to establish democratic relations between people in the US. His theory of intelligence for problem solving was also the theory of how to collect our intelligence in solving public problems. To collect intelligence of the public, he attached a great deal of importance to communication in the society. It is possible for people on the guarantee of the freedom of communication to take part in public activities and to devote ourselves to it. Dewey's concept of Meliorism. Dewey observed three thoughts: Hegelism, evolutionary biology, and pragmatism. He selected from them the notion of relationship, holism, naturalism, consequentialism, experimentalism, and so on. He constructed the logic that advocate Meliorism and refute laissez-faire and social Darwinism. In this logic, the following 3 points were emphasized. A. The world consists of multifarious components, and they are related to each other, reciprocal and harmoniously. It is a discrete fact that it is impossible in the field of nature to sweep the board. So survival of the fittest is not the truth of the world. The world is dominated by contingency. There is no law on the course of human history. The change occurs contingently. This is a kind of a common problem for humans. Viewed historically, in occurrence of change in the environment, humans survived in a group by creating a new culture and a new style of relationships through their cooperation. Humans renewed their society over and over. C. It is not necessary for human to be respected as the only being with reason. Intelligence can be found in the activities of every organism in trying to adapt to the environment. As for human, they are capable of increasing with the environment. As for human, they are capable of interacting with the environment widely and complexly, beyond space and time. Intelligence is shown in the style of functioning in their activities. Intelligence is not a metaphysical notion like reason, but a descriptive notion. Dewey demonstrated the possibility of Meliorism as such that humans transform their society to cope with the change in environment by creating new culture through their own efforts. Humans have maintained their existence as a species. This can be confirmed with the naturalistic approach, the concept of experience. Dewey compiled the formula of human effort using intelligence for problem solving into the concept of experience in democracy and education. His concept of experience stands for the human activities for problem solving, in which meanings are applied deliberately, intentionally, and reflectively. Humans are able to think of ways to solve problems through thoughtfully applying knowledge. And humans can increase their ability to conduct activities by reflecting on what they have done or what they are going to do. Though it is impossible for them to be granted absolute certainty for their action, it is possible for humans to increase the certainty of their actions to the maximum through their own effort using intelligence. After democracy and education, Dewey had developed his thought reflectively and urged various kinds of fields through experience, intellectual experience, public experience, ethical experience, aesthetic experience, religious experience, and so on. He had confidence in human activities with intelligence for social reformation. To put it accurately, he had no choice but to bet on it. He was not optimist, but an admonitor. Humans are always under pressure to solve various kinds of problems, which occur incidentally. They have no weapon except their own intelligence. In his later book, Common Faith, he discussed religious experience. He treated it as self-reliance. Persons who are rich in experience possess an abundant accumulation of knowledge and ability to apply it to to a variety of problems which they face too. So they are capable to foresee the cause of problem solving more clearly and wider perspective than those who are not so experienced. They can see reciprocal relationship between the various components in the world and themselves. They are confident that the universe would reply affirmatively to their actions. With such a confidence, they can fight against difficult problems and tough it out. For Dewey, religious experience is the supreme experience, or the highest way of life of Meliorism. Conclusion. Dewey proposed the logic and the formula of human effort using intelligence, which demonstrates the belief in Meliorism that humans can enhance their society better for themselves. It is necessary for progressivism to demonstrate the logic of Meliorism to cope with and refute the principle of laissez-faire and social Darwinism. He compared the logic and the formula for Meliorism as a concept of experience in democracy and education. Finally, he described it as a way of living of self-reliance based on the faith in a reciprocal relationship with the universe. In other words, religious experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Fujii, for that very interesting presentation. I think the two presentations really spoke to each other in very important ways, and I think that really sets us up for a very good question and answer session.